And back now with you here on the KFYR Plus News Desk at 10 minutes past the hour. Coming up in 20 minutes, meteorologist Jacob Morris will join us here on the news desk. He'll give us a full look at weather for our Tuesday on through midweek coming your way at the bottom of the hour. Also, on the way here in just about 10 minutes, we'll get a look at our local headlines here on the KFYR Plus News Desk. But in the meantime, here are some of the other headlines we're working on for you. Army soldier has returned home for the holidays in an emotional Fairfax, Virginia family reunion.
Inside the American Red Cross office in Fairfax, volunteers were hard at work Monday packing up stockings and writing cards for patients at military hospitals at Fort Belvoir and Walter Reed. Little did the Consul family know their son was there too.
Come here, please.
The parents of U.S. Army soldier PFC Patrick Consul brought to tears
I missed you so much.
as they reunited with their son for the first time in 19 months.
I missed you.
He's been stationed in Korea since July of 2024.
So I don't think of myself as emotional, but when you see your son after you haven't seen him for a year and a half, and you're so proud of him for what he's doing and the commitment he's made. I watched the Army-Navy game the other day, and I kept thinking about him the whole time. The whole time.
He says they are so incredibly proud of their son. Last year was the first Christmas they weren't together as a family. This year, not being together would have been made even more painful as his mom was recently diagnosed with cancer.
And it's hard to keep it together, really, because obviously she's been the most worried about. Your mother always worries about you the most. So having to hear from her all the time, saying she misses me, finally being able to see her again, it means everything. Really does.
Their holiday reunion thanks to the American Red Cross.
Once a year we pick one family from around the whole country, and so it just happened to be here in our local area this year, so it was really special.
An opportunity he does not take lightly.
Obviously it gets harder the longer you're overseas, and there's some heroes out there that have been overseas longer than I have, so it's equally hard on everybody. It's not like someone has it worse or better than others. It's hard on everyone because you have to leave your home, what's familiar. So when you finally get the opportunity to go back and see them, it's just pure elation.
Welcome home, Patrick!
And Powerball is getting more interesting right before the holidays. No one won the jackpot again in Monday's drawing. It's now expected to reach the $1.25 billion mark by Wednesday's drawing. This marks only the second time this year a jackpot worth, is north of $1 billion. Even if the winner takes the money as a lump sum, it's still $572 million before taxes. The odds of winning are more than 290 million to 1. And of course, the more people who play, the greater the chance more than one winner will have to split that jackpot. And next, in Michigan, a Warren woman was arrested after live streaming a homicide confession during an hours-long police standoff on South Warren Street in, Thursday evening last week.
There was also a Facebook Live confession that identified and showed the deceased lying on the floor. There was a 5-hour standoff with police while they continued to live stream.
Prosecution laying out the stunning details in court of a gruesome murder from last Friday when beloved local chef, 29-year-old Makari Finley, was killed in Warren. Prosecutors say the suspect behind the horrific act, 30-year-old Dominic Robinson, then live streamed the aftermath. Police say during that live stream, Robinson claimed the victim had sold her boyfriend drugs that led to his death earlier this year. However, police have not confirmed these allegations.
Your Honor, involved in this case was extensive planning, at least to one additional person, what the intention was to kill the now deceased.
Inside the Warren courtroom Monday, Robinson appearing over Zoom, the judge setting a $2 million cash bond and ordering a mental health evaluation. Devastated family members there at the arraignment declining a request for interview, but releasing the following statement, which reads in part, "The tragic murder of our son Makari Finley for all to watch and share as entertainment is something that none of us would have ever thought we would have to deal with." It went on to say, "He was a friend, A brother, an uncle, a nephew, a grandson, and our son. He is loved and his life mattered. He didn't deserve what happened to him.
And out of Washington, where one Leavenworth resident had their home crashed into by a tree.
Leavenworth is getting back up
And very, very lucky.
after some very
As big as this tree is,
close calls.
yeah, I know it could have been worse.
This massive tree that once stood proudly in Michelle Luter's front yard came crashing down onto her home Wednesday night.
Yeah, I would have been sitting there with my dog.
Luckily, neighbors called and asked her to come over.
The temperature, literally, like we felt it raise like to 70 degrees. It got very warm, very fast. And then you could just see what was almost like, I don't know, a hurricane, like a bomb cyclone, something, I don't know.
The storm knocked out power for 2 days, toppling trees, crushing cars, and damaging homes.
Here's your Christmas tree. You wanted a Christmas tree? I'm like, yeah, I guess so.
Neighborhoods north of town
Not like this.
took the hardest hit.
A bunch of smashed cars throughout the residential area, and you'll see tons of houses that were damaged by tree falls.
The damage was compounded by the closure of Highway 2, cutting off a major route into town and making it harder for both cleanup crews and customers to get in. Downtown, the Bavarian Core escaped with minimal damage. This weekend, the lights and festivities are back on, but business owners say the impact still stings.
Our biggest month is December. In fact, it was sort of an unlucky incident that the biggest week is typically the second week of December, and that's the week the power went down because all the grandmas and families are in town buying toys for Christmas.
I'm okay. My dog's okay, and that's all that matters to me.
Back at her home, Michelle says what happened here is big, but the response and support is bigger.
I know that we'll be okay and that everyone will help us because everyone helps each other.
And next to Minnesota, where immigration crackdown was front and center at a meeting of the Metropolitan Airport Commission. Concerned workers packed the meeting asking the MAC to do more when it comes to ICE activity.
Inside a busy MSP airport on Monday afternoon.
This last meeting of the calendar year.
A routine meeting of the Metropolitan Airports Commission, which owns and operates this airport and other smaller ones in the region.
We want MEC to protect us.
Rideshare drivers and faith leaders raised their concerns to the panel after recent ICE actions at MSP. They say federal agents have approached drivers waiting in a designated parking lot before they get a call for pickup.
Most of the drivers nowadays, if you see the lot, it's really empty. Because they fear of, even though myself, I'm a U.S. citizen, I have nothing to hide, but it's just because of, our president calling us, to profile in our community. It's just that makes us scrutiny.
The commission's CEO, Brian Ricks, explained the panel is aware of reports about the rideshare lot. He also said ICE has questioned some badged employees while on the job, too, before they went on their way. But the commission's hands are mostly tied.
They have unimpeded access to airport property, and so that's the situation that we have to honor because we are governed by federal regulation.
Ricks said they've had conversations about what they can do in response, including with the governor's office. Reverend Rebecca Vogel asked them to consider publicizing deportation flights, as is done in King County, Washington, where there's a log of flights to and from that airport.
Now is the time for all of us to do whatever is in our power to do the right and moral thing.
Caroline Cummings, WCCO News.
Now to California, where the state fair, their organizers are rescheduling the festivities to accommodate warmer weather.
Big changes coming to the California State Fair, moving its opening dates from July to September.
Anywhere from 2 to about 6, that's prime when people want to come visit the fair, and it's just too hot.
Mark Clifton, owner of More Life Ice, has worked the state fair for the past 3 years. Despite helping fairgoers cool off with his award-winning Italian ice, the extreme heat has made it tough to do business.
People can't enjoy it. Everybody's looking for cooler shelters. They're more likely inside. People don't actually want to walk outside.
which is why Clifton and many other vendors welcomed the calendar change. Fair officials say the decision came after an extensive review, taking into account feedback from fairgoers, city and county leaders, and even school districts.
Our July month is the hottest month on here in Sacramento. We've had to endure countless record-setting Julys.
After years of cooling strategies and safety adjustments and even delayed opening times this year, officials say moving the dates was a more reliable solution rather than hoping for cooler than average temperatures.
Luck is something that the weather really only can do for us. We can't control that. Now, Mother Nature does what Mother Nature does.
This new weather change, I do think like they're going to the right direction where maybe people can enjoy it for longer periods of time.
And it's been more than 2 years since the devastating wildfires ravaged Hawaii's Maui Island. For the first time since its destruction, Lahaina Harbor reopened to tourism boats on Monday. But not everyone was happy about it. Daryl Huff explains.
To many people, this site is long overdue. Commercial boats waiting for paying customers once again moored in Lahaina Small Boat Harbor, which had been one of the most horrifying scenes of destruction on August 8, 2023. The owner of Hawaii Ocean Project Tours is among the first to come back with his tour catamaran after being in the harbor that horrible evening.
I lost my home, I lost my shop, I lost a lot of my neighbors. I rescued a number of people out of here, saved their lives.
The comeback has been slow. The cleanup of sunken boats and destroyed piers had to be done with care for the ocean environment. It took a year to repair the fuel dock, a long wait for workers who returned today.
We're excited. We're also, we're nervous. It's very sensitive for the community, and we want to make sure that we honor the community the way we come back.
In anticipation of added tourist traffic, the historic and sensitive buildings and artifacts were protected by barriers or caution tape, and pedestrians restricted to pathways. Sail Maui will also provide a video to customers.
Asking our guests to come back with mindfulness, with respect, and keep their photos and their videos until they get on the boat and stay on the path.
But to some, it's not enough protection from what they think is too early for tourists to return to the center of the burn zone.
It is not up to the fake state or the county or any faction thereof to dictate when and how our sacred spaces are available for oogling and ogling by eyes that are hungry for ownership and hands that do not know respect and reciprocal relationships.
Persons who don't want tourism here are just chasing away our young people. We have to have jobs for our young people.
The county as well as the state should have mitigated this thing right by getting everybody to the table so we can talk about our concerns. Nobody was awarded that opportunity. So that's why I think it's escalating the way it is escalating now.
State harbor officials called the reopening limited. The harbor doesn't even have working navigational lighting, but the weather made the opening more gradual than expected. A small proportion of the potential customers were expected for afternoon sales that must end before dark. Most of the boats were actually there to shelter from the storm, not to do business. Daryl Huff, Hawaii News Now.
All right, time now to turn our attention to local headlines here this morning on the KFYR Plus. Don't forget, coming up here at the bottom of the hour, in about 7 minutes, meteorologist Jacob Morris will join us here on the news desk for a full look at weather for our Tuesday. All right, when people lose health insurance, hospitals don't just lose patients, they lose payment. With federal health care tax credits set to expire, rural health hospitals warn the ripple effect could strain their budgets while they are already operating on those thin margins. Michelle Tom now joins us for more.
The emergency department at Jamestown Regional Medical Center is bustling as usual. But now they're also gearing up for more patients to come into their doors uninsured starting January 1st.
We could be affected as early as January of the coming year. So it would happen very, very quickly, and nobody really knows what's going to happen.
Many rural residents are on the Affordable Care Act marketplace. Since premiums are predicted to spike significantly, people will drop insurance and they will be forced to go to the ER when they get sick. Hospitals cannot refuse emergency patients and will have to shoulder the cost on thin margins.
What we would be looking at is unanticipated bad debt, but to what degree we don't even know, which is kind of a scary thing to think about.
Hospital leadership and staff say that the uncertainty is wearing on them, on top of common stressors rural providers have to deal with. As of now, they say the best bet is to hope that Congress can put aside partisan differences and come up with a solution.
We have real people who are going to either lose their insurance or it's going to get so expensive they literally can't afford it. And the downstream effect of that is now you are endangering hospitals in rural locations, just their mere viability.
Hospital leadership says that without congressional action in 2026, the end of the year could leave this hospital with nearly $1 million in unpaid medical bills. In Jamestown, I'm Michelle Tom reporting for your news leader.
Well, less than 3 days. That's how long Congress has left to avoid a jump in healthcare costs as Affordable Care Act subsidies from the pandemic era are set to expire in the new year. Now, if that happens, the Congressional Budget Office estimates about 2 million people will become uninsured next year, with a clock ticking.
You're going to anticipate the enormous sticker shock of your premiums going up.
New plans are emerging to keep healthcare costs from skyrocketing for millions of Americans. Lawmakers are scheduled to start their holiday breaks at the end of this week, and certain Obamacare subsidies are set to expire while they're on recess. Leaders of the two parties are largely at an impasse. Democrats want a straight-up 3-year extension of the subsidies. House Republicans want a floor vote this week on a plan that lets them expire.
This proposal focuses on expanding the availability of association health plans, allowing employers to really band together to purchase coverage. It also includes new transparency requirements for pharmacy benefit managers.
Now some centrist Republicans and a handful of Democrats are working on compromises in both chambers. In the House today, a bipartisan group is taking steps to try to force a floor vote on their plan. It would extend the subsidies, but with stricter income caps and new fraud prevention measures.
It's hundreds of dollars a month for many Americans throughout the country. We have to do right by those people.
In the Senate, a bipartisan group that met last night is considering a way to extend the subsidies with reforms. They say they hope to announce their plan before the holiday break.
I think there's a deal that could be done.
I'm Amy Kiley reporting.
A 36-year-old Bismarck man was stabbed in a parking lot in the 2600 block of Old Red Trail Northwest in Mandan. The man gave the name of the attacker and details of what happened. The victim was taken to a hospital for his injuries. The suspect in the stabbing was arrested for aggravated assault in Bismarck. He is pending being held now at the Burley Morton Detention Center pending formal charges. No one was injured during a house fire in Bismarck Monday afternoon. Bismarck fire crews responded to the fire in the 1900 block of East Avenue C just after 4:30 p.m. Upon arrival, firefighters found smoke coming from the eaves of the building. They put out the fire and rescued a rabbit and 5 cats. After an investigation, the cause of the fire was found to be undetermined. You can now sit down and have a drink in the company of some furry friends in Lincoln. The Dakota Cat Cafe's Cat Lounge is officially open. You can enjoy a sweet treat and play with the establishment's 6 cats, but the cafe recommends you make a reservation. Walk-ins are welcome, but space may be limited, and there is a $2 admission fee. Well, transitioning out of prison is not easy, but one statewide organization is helping to ease that burden. The staff at F5 Project uses their own lived experiences to help others rebuild their lives. Kiona Rivera spoke with the care coordinators in Minot to learn more.
James Jimenez serves as one of the care coordinators at F5 in Minot. He helps those who were previously incarcerated or struggled with addiction find their way back into the community. But James has been through it too.
I have lived experiences, been to prison 4 times in Nevada.
Jeannie Hochstrasser also serves as a care coordinator. She's a true product of the program after seeking services from them in 2018 when she was released from prison.
I'm somebody that struggled with the criminal justice system due to my addiction. So I had my peer support through F5 and they really helped me kind of figure life out.
They take in people from all walks of life. even the simplest things like getting an ID or a birth certificate, or to bigger situations like finding a job and a home.
It's always so much easier to go back to the using and the chaos because you don't have to pick up those pieces and try to put it all in place.
F5 opened their Minot location in 2018. Over the years, they've helped roughly 1,500 people get back on their feet.
Very liberating, because I have to give out what I've gotten freely, as far as my recovery, and it just feels good, fills my soul.
James and Jeannie know firsthand what it's like to leave prison without anything in line for them.
Without my recovery, I don't have nothing.
Now they help others find the same path.
Getting to see those success stories with the people that I work with is what keeps me sober.
Jeannie can now say she lives a whole different life.
I wouldn't be where I'm at today 5 years into this if I didn't get to use my lived experience to help other people.
Both are also pursuing a degree in addiction studies at Minot State. In Minot, I'm Kiona Rivera, reporting for your news leader.
All right, bottom of the hour, and meteorologist Jacob Morris joins us. Jacob, we've got a pretty fine day out there.
Yeah, if you don't look at the wind gust speeds.
We won't look at trees. We won't look at trees.
But sunshine, temperatures in the 40s.
Sunshine, you can see the cameras.
48 degrees in Bismarck, I think, right now. Just crazy warm.
We can see the melting on the clouds are moving pretty quickly.
Yep, so that's the wind. Wind speeds over 40 miles an hour for gusts. You can see the trees moving in the foreground there. But sunshine and these mild temperatures, can't really complain except for the winds. Now, the winds are pulling in a little bit of cooler air towards Williston, 34 there, but 40s elsewhere. So that 41 in Minot might decrease into the 30s this afternoon, but we'll be in the 40s all afternoon in southern North Dakota. 52 right now in Buffalo, South Dakota. Just an unseasonably mild day. Westerly wind helping with the warm-up.
No thought of breaking any record?
No, I haven't looked at them, but I believe they're higher than, because our normal is in the 20s, so I would say records are in the 60s. Because we remember we were in the 60s in December a couple of years ago, and we hit records then.
Okay.
I don't think 50s are records.
Okay. I'm one of those record guys.
Yeah, well,
I love to.
This is an interesting record, one that you don't hear us talk about frequently, if at all.
Okay.
A pressure record, a low pressure record for what's coming Wednesday night. So the storm system is an area of low pressure, surface cyclone that has an atmospheric pressure that could be so low that it would break a December low pressure record in parts of North Dakota.
And so what does that feel for us? How does it affect me, I guess?
So a lower pressure means a stronger system and therefore stronger winds, because winds are a difference in pressure. Winds are caused by a difference in pressure. So that bigger change in pressure from high to low, and the deeper or lower the pressure is of the storm system, the stronger the winds can be. So we could have 70-mile-an-hour wind gust Wednesday night.
And we're looking at that.
With some rain showers during the afternoon tomorrow. Temperatures will still be near 40 degrees, so it'll still be a mild day. But then by the nighttime, we'll see wind gusts between 40 and 70 miles an hour, snow squalls moving through, which are brief, intense bursts of snow, reduced visibilities, and even blizzard conditions possible in Minot, northern North Dakota, over to the eastern part of the state, with a couple of inches of snow falling there. Probably less than an inch of snow accumulating in Bismarck, but a couple of inches of snow and 70-mile-an-hour wind gusts spells trouble for the possibility of blizzard conditions early Thursday morning.
Is it going to get cold enough, fast enough to where that rain could freeze, and it could freeze on my branches of my tree, and with that 70-mile-an-hour wind, everything's going to get heavier, it'll snap off?
It's possible. I think that there'll be some time for evaporation of the water, and there's not going to be like a lot of rain. It's going to be scattered rain showers.
Okay.
Now there will be some melting during the day. We'll have the rain on some surfaces, and then temperatures will drop quickly into the night, so we could see some spots freezing up. But then the snow blowing around will lead to whiteout conditions in some spots where the snow occurs, and that will be pretty statewide for Wednesday night as those winds are at their peak. So I would not advise traveling Wednesday night.
Okay.
And then early Thursday morning, we might have some lingering areas of really reduced visibilities with how strong the winds will still be, picking up some of the snow that has fallen. But really, winds calm down by Thursday evening, so it's a quick hitter, and that's what these clippers usually are, bringing wildly changing and rapidly changing weather conditions, going from pretty calm tomorrow morning to very strong winds Wednesday night, to then back to pretty calm conditions by Thursday evening, but much colder air on Thursday, only in the
Much
single
colder.
digits to about 10 degrees. We could dip sub-zero Thursday night, but then back to above freezing on Friday with a little bit of a breeze out of the south to boost those temperatures, but that 35-mile-an-hour wind gust on Friday will feel pretty
Yeah.
light compared to what's coming Wednesday night.
Then the weekend, then we're back down again for 17.
Yep.
I mean,
Dipping
so it's
back
cold
down
once
closer to
again.
normal, even
Yeah.
below normal on Saturday. But I think you were asking earlier this morning if we settle into one of these temperature patterns instead
Yeah.
of bouncing back and forth. And I think we do settle into the 20s to the low 30s next week. Leading up to Christmas.
Leading up to Christmas. Okay. So at least we kind of know what we're looking at. Do I need to take my big jacket to Grandmama's when I'm traveling, or could I just put on a slight
I don't
little
think
jacket?
we'll have the Arctic air in place.
Okay,
yeah, by
okay.
then.
Because I'll tell you what, I do have a jacket that when I wear it, it can't be above 35 degrees because it's just way too hot, right?
Sure, yeah.
It's one of those jackets.
Yeah.
So, okay. Thank you, Jacob.
Yep.